This war has taken a greater toll on innocent civilians than all previous wars in Gaza combined. More than 30,000 Palestinians have been killed, most of whom are not Hamas. Thousands and thousands of innocents, women and children, girls and boys, also orphaned. Nearly 2 million more Palestinians under bombardment or displacement.
I've been listening to him for the last 2 hours.
Families without food, water.
He hasn't stumbled many words. He hasn't cut off half sentences. He hasn't talked about windmills or some random acts of bullshit.
To get the hostages home and ease the intolerable.
He's talked about forgiving student debt. He's talked about raising taxes on everybody above $400,000 a year and not raising them 1 cent for anyone who makes less than $400,000 a year.
To lead an emergency mission to establish a temporary pier in the Mediterranean on the coast of Gaza that can receive large shipments carrying food, water, medicine, and temporary
shelter. And he's
shelter.
taking action to protect the people of Gaza. He's taking it out of the Republican hands because they have been blocking everything going their way. And Mike Johnson, sitting right behind him, has collected money for sending money to Israel and not protecting Gaza. Mike Johnson has collected money from Russia for not sending money to Ukraine. This is a man who has gone through a 2-hour speech and still going.
To the leadership of Israel, I say this: humanitarian assistance cannot
sounds pretty clear to me.
Or a bargaining chip.
I know he's an old guy. So is Trump. But when you're talking about mental capacity, I'll take a couple of mumbles here and there and a couple of stumbles here and there. Then every other sentence. And I'll take someone who's searching for something to do something good for people, to make this country a better place, to balance out what's imbalanced.
As a lifelong supporter of Israel, my entire career, no one has a stronger record with Israel than I do. I challenge any of you here. I'm the only American president of Israel in wartime. But there is no other path that guarantees Israel's security and democracy. There is no other path that guarantees Palestine can live in peace with peace and dignity. There's no other path that guarantees peace between Israel and all of its neighbors, including Saudi Arabia, with whom I'm talking.
On the big picture.
Creating stability in the Middle East also means containing the threat.
Enough with this ageism bullshit. Enough of this stumbling Joe, genocide Joe, and everything else. Let's look behind the curtains. Let's look at the things that are actually going on. Because the fact of the matter is,
defend U.S. forces in the region. As Commander-in-Chief, I will not hesitate to direct further measures to protect our people.
Trump can't go 5 minutes without stumbling, mumbling, and going into some random nonsensical bullshit.
For years, I've heard many of my Republican and Democratic friends.
Sounds pretty coherent to me.
And America's falling behind. They've got it backwards.
Let's get real, ladies and gentlemen.
I've been saying it for over 4 years, even when I wasn't president.
This is about our country.
We have the best economy in the world. And since I've come to office, our GDP is up, our trade deficit with China is down to the lowest point in over a decade. And we're standing up against China's unfair economic practices.
That's fact.
We're standing up for peace and stability.
I don't care if
across
MAGA
the
likes it,
Straits.
Republicans like it. That's fact. And that's provable. All you need to do is look.
India,
if we care about our country and we're pretending to be patriots and Americans,
I've made sure that the most advanced
we need to look at the big picture and take politics out of it.
Used in China, not allowing to trade them there.
This man, though he's old and has his moments,
China, it never occurred to my predecessor to do any of that.
Comparing him to any Donald Trump speech.
And we're in a stronger position to win the conflict of the 21st century against China than anyone else for
not
that
from teleprompters,
any time as well.
Not from books.
Here at home, I've signed
he's looking
over
people in the eye.
bipartisan bills.
90% of this speech.
To pass my unity agenda. Strengthen penalties on fentanyl trafficking. You don't want to
Start
do that,
paying attention, ladies and gentlemen. Enough of the media bullshit and twists and turns and the political manipulated headlines.
Harness the promise of AI.
Do you want to question his mental capabilities?
AI voice impersonations and more.
Listen to him speak.
And keep our truly
Anyone
sacred
could edit a
obligation
5-second clip.
to train and equip those we send into harm's
Watch an
way,
entire Joe Biden
and care
speech,
for
then
them
watch
and
an
their families when they
entire
come home and when
Trump
they don't.
speech. Or just read the transcripts. There's substance, there's action, and it's actually sticking up for a majority of this country. So when the Republicans pretend that Trump is fighting for everybody, Trump is fighting for the rich, Trump is fighting for the corporations, Trump is not fighting for everybody. Republicans are fighting to take away Social Security. They're fighting to take away Medicare. They're fighting to take away women's rights on every level. And they are fighting.
We owe it to ourselves to keep supporting our new health research agency called
to cost us our freedoms in every way, shape, or form.
Remind us that we can do.
We need to start paying attention, ladies and gentlemen.
Like end cancer as we know it, and we will.
We need someone who's not out for himself. Stay diligent, stay educated, and be kind.
Let me close with this.
Let me close with this. Ready?
I know you don't want to hear any more, Lindsay, but I got to say a few more things. I know it may not look like it, but I've been around a while.
And Lindsey Graham's laughing his ass off.
Certain things become clearer than ever. I know the American story. Again and again, I've seen the contest between competing forces in the battle for the soul of our nation. Between those who want to pull America back to the past and those who want to move America into the future. My lifetime has taught me to embrace freedom and democracy, a future based on core values that have defined America: honesty, decency, dignity, equality, to respect everyone, to give everyone a fair shot, to give hate no safe harbor. Now, other people my age see it differently. The American story of resentment, revenge, and retribution, that's not me. I was born in mid-World War II when America stood for the freedom of the world. I grew up in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and Claymont, Delaware, among working-class people.
Sounds pretty clear to me.
Who built this country. I watched in horror as two of my heroes, like many of you did, Dr. King and Bobby Cunningham, were assassinated. And their legacies inspired me to pursue a career in service.
There's a stumble.
I left the law firm and became a public defender because my city of Wilmington was the only city in America occupied by the National Guard after Dr. King was assassinated because of the riots. And I became a county councilman almost by accident.
Sounds pretty clear.
I got elected to the United States Senate when I had no intention of running at age 29. Then vice president of our first black president. Now president to the first women vice president.
Sounds pretty clear to me. Yeah. That's a president. Not once did he say, and I didn't get any credit.
I've been told I was too young. By the way, they didn't let me on the Senate elevators for votes sometimes. Not a joke. And I've been told I'm too old. Whether young or old, I've always known what endures. I've known our North Star. The very idea of America is that we're all created equal and deserves to be treated equally throughout our lives. We've never fully lived up to that idea, but we've never walked away from it either. And I won't walk away from it now. I'm optimistic. I really am. I'm optimistic, Nancy.
Four-syllable word. And he didn't shit his pants. Just saying.
My fellow Americans, the issue facing our nation isn't how old we are. It's how old are our ideas. Hate, anger, revenge, retribution are the oldest of ideas. But you can't lead America with ancient ideas that only take us back. You lead America, the land of possibilities.
God bless.